Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the July 15th edition of the Dawn Patrol. We are flying through summer. It's unbelievable, Bob. My guest here is, well, my co-host, my guest is Bob Hoey, candidate for the at-large seat on the Lowell School Committee.
Yes, sir.
And we were just talking off the air how your papers are all filed and everything's good to go.
I'm certified.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And how was you out there? I'm sure you're already out there campaigning. I know you.
What I did this time is I went around to all the houses that have supported me in the past. You got to visit them, you know.
Yep.
To say you're interested again and let
Yep.
them ask it. Most houses, and it takes a long time to get out of some houses.
Yeah.
Because they question you and what
Yeah.
you're going to do and what you think you can accomplish, right?
Yeah.
So, but I've been having fun.
I've been around the town. I see a lot of your signs up. They're going
Well,
pretty good.
I bought 100 signs, Tom.
Especially in Pawtuckaville, I see them. You know,
Yeah, I got a few over there.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain spots that you have
Yeah.
to have a sign early.
Yeah, yeah.
But I've only put out, I don't think I put out 20 signs, but I got them in good spots.
Right, right.
I got another 80 to do, and that's what I can do now. I'm not going to come out and getting signatures. I'm just
Right.
going to place
Right.
some signs in
Right.
some good locations. So if you have a location you want a sign,
Yep.
just give this show a call, and I'll come to your house and put a sign in. $10 a sign, basically, Tom.
Sure. Wow, that much.
100 signs,
Wow.
you're paying around $850, $900
So,
just for 100 signs.
so we have 5 candidates or 4 right now?
Four. If we get
Okay.
5, we get
There'll
a
be a
primary.
primary,
I
okay.
found all this information out.
Okay.
Who I call all the time. I
So-
don't call the election office. I
Right.
call Eric Gitcha
So,
and ask him.
it's you, Danielle McFadden, Connie Martin, and Zoe. Is that her name? Zoe?
Well, yeah, Zoe.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce her last name
Yeah.
yet.
She's the one that ran for state rep, right? I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I met her at Corey Robinson's party.
All
Okay,
right.
you're going to like this. Zoe. It was like not the first time I met her, but I met her here and I got to talk to her, and she says to me, Bob, I want to run for school committee so bad, but Eileen Del Rossi is in that seat, and I like her, and I don't want to hurt her. So I says, well, run for the seat with me. Run for at large.
Yeah.
And she did. She did come to me, and I told her that, run. That's what, to me, I'm excited about Danielle McFadden entering the race. We had nobody that run against the school committee last time.
She's going to walk away with this.
Oh,
race.
yeah, she's an easy,
Yeah.
top-the-ticket type of
Yeah.
person, no
Yeah.
doubt about it.
And she's just a great person, too.
But
She's,
when you're in my shoes, okay, there's 3 women and 1 man in this race, and I'm the man, okay? But I'm looking at the 3 women saying, whoa, there's no doubt about it, McFadden's number 1. So now there's only 1 seat left for 3 of us.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I got a better shot now than I ever did in my life, and I won that seat 4 times. Because it's really me against Zoe, of course,
yeah,
and me against CTI, I mean Connie Martin.
right.
Connie Martin's been around a long time.
Yeah.
And CTI, to me, their time is up. Their time is
Everybody
up.
has an expiration date. I always say
Yeah,
that.
their time is
Yep.
up.
Yep.
And we need change bigger than ever,
Yeah.
more important than ever.
Yeah.
And it's a simple job. You got 7 days left.
Yeah, next, I was just going to bring that up. And there's some people are unopposed. That's good.
Well, you got 7 days left,
Yeah, you
and
never
believe
know.
me, you could get 150 signatures
Oh.
pretty quick with 3 or 4 friends.
Yeah.
Just go out on a Sunday afternoon and bang them out. Make sure you get 150 signatures.
Yep.
You got to be careful because, like I said, I turned in 241 signatures, and
Yeah.
only 191 were good.
Right.
So you get a lot of bad ones. So I probably got about 300 total.
Yeah.
And I'm over 200, so I'm all set.
Mr. Producer, when you get a chance, we have Bob Hoey and Bob Hoey here, 2 of us. Just
Yeah, that's my twin. That's my twin. But I got to say this, Tom, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Because to me, this is so important.
Yeah.
You know, I talk a lot about CBA, Coalition
Yep,
of
yep.
Better Acre. I look at a lot of nonprofits. My sister has one called Project Compass. And about 2 weeks ago, I had to go to a party at the Hellenic School.
I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah, to represent my sister in Project Compass, because my sister couldn't make that party. So
Right.
I do what Paul at the M does. The mayor can't be there.
Yep.
I got to be there.
Yep.
So I went to this party, and I told you many times I don't go to a lot of parties. I never went to the Lowell Plan. I never went to your Irish party down at the, the conference center.
Salvation
Never. I
Army,
just,
yeah.
that's the way I am.
Yeah.
I only go to the parties that I really enjoy the people, and I want to have a good time. So that's why I don't go to everybody's party.
Right, right.
But I went to that one, and it was to celebrate Jay Linehan, someone that
Yep.
he does a very good job for us, especially what we do at the high school. Passes out over a $500,000, about $600,000 to scholarship money.
Yep.
But I'm sitting there with the wife, and we don't normally go, like I said, to all these parties. And at the end of the party almost, or 3/4 of the way through, who walks in through the door? Someone that was as important as Young Jew Chow for the Coalition of Better Acre. And his name's Dave Olette, okay? Dave Olette. To me, he's Mr. CBA. He walks in the door. I don't hear nothing about him. I don't hear people talking about him. To me, he was number 2 for the Coalition of Better Acre.
Yep.
Because he could generate people that got involved in the acre.
Yep.
Fixing this, fixing that.
Yep.
He was just, did you hear he just won $1 million?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that is unbelievable.
Yeah, he talked
So he got
Sunday,
his payback.
yep,
He
yep.
got his payback.
Yep.
For like down on the Cape, right? It was
A second chance lottery in.
he won $1 million.
Yeah.
I'm so,
It was a Jaws thing.
yeah, and
Yeah.
he used to come on the show, so I guarantee you, there's another guy I'm going to shoot for to see if we can get him back on the show, because nobody deserves what I call a payback. You kind of work hard for your neighborhood or your city, whatever it is, and people will elect you. If they like you, they're gonna elect
Well,
you.
that was Dave's only problem. He couldn't get. He wasn't electable. And I think the reason why he wasn't electable, I think just people. He's well liked, but he was always in the wrong district, the
There
wrong
you
race,
go.
or the
There
wrong.
you go. It was district.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
They don't vote.
I mean,
They
Paul
don't vote.
Rethiem beat
Yeah.
him, and that's Paul Rethiem, who I'm hearing through the grapevine wants to be the next mayor if he's reelected. Did you hear anything
Yeah,
about that?
I'm only hearing, to me, what I feel on the streets is he's in a race.
Yeah.
And until that race is over, I'd be careful.
Well, everybody, you never
gotta
know.
work.
You just never know. Everybody's in a
Well,
race.
some people,
I've met him here twice. Really don't know him that well. I always thought he's a pretty nice guy. I don't know. He seems compassionate.
I'll say, you know me, Tom. I'll give you my opinion in a minute, but an opinion doesn't mean that much.
Right.
But to me, the hottest person in the city has been Belinda Giron.
You keep saying it.
Well,
She's
I'll say
not
this,
close, huh?
because I see her everywhere. I go everywhere if I can, even if it's on the outside and I don't want to go in and drink with people, because things can happen around alcohol,
Right,
so I
right,
stay away
right,
from that,
right.
But she's worked.
Right.
But the candidate that I'm working for, Dan Finn, he's doing exactly what I asked him to do, and he was doing it anyways, is visiting every day for about an hour and a half. Try to do it for that long, be quick at it, and meet people. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to meet as many people as I can
Yeah.
until this election is over, and that's right now goes all the way to November 7th, I think.
Right.
So
Is
we'll
it
see what
November 7th?
happens.
Yeah.
But Gendron, they're huge up there. What an election this is going to be in Belvedere.
So, Bobby, if there's a primary, so the election's November 4th. If there's a primary, what is it, September 2nd?
9th, I think.
Oh, 9th? Okay.
Yeah, I believe the
Okay.
9th.
Yeah.
But you need people to enter, and you got plenty of time to
Do
do
you
it.
want a primary?
I'd like to have a primary,
Then
yeah,
you can
but
see where you stand. You can.
either way,
Yeah.
Don't waste your summer.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm wasting. If you're in a race in Lowell right now, you're wasting your summer.
Because you're going to have,
If you
at
want
least,
to win.
there's a couple of races now, they're going to have primaries, right? What I'm hearing?
I haven't been to the beach.
Yeah.
Okay, this year I love
Right,
the beach. I
right,
love the street
right.
of fish.
A little late to the draw here. This is, come on, Nick. This Dave.
There you go.
Yeah.
His wife, girlfriend?
Oh, I don't know.
Wife.
That's his wife, okay.
Yeah.
So, David, congratulations.
Yeah.
Got this off Channel 5 this morning. And the Jaws Grand Prize winner.
Yeah. It couldn't go to a better guy, really. It couldn't go. Yeah.
But there's going to be at least, 2 or 3 primaries. I think
There's a few.
Johnny Dakota's going to have a primary, I think.
Yeah.
And,
He's in a tough race.
right now, the at-large council is there going to be a primary there?
Oh, yeah, there's one in
You got
District 8, there's one in District 3.
No, but I mean at-large. You got
Oh,
Rita.
at-large, no.
You got Rita.
No
you
primary.
got Sixto to Jesus. You got Vesna Noon.
Yeah.
Who else would be running in that?
If someone else
Yeah.
joins the race, and
Yeah.
within 15 days, they'll have a primary. But right now,
Right.
I tell
Eric
you-
Itchia, he's the fourth guy. So, okay. All right.
yeah. So
I always say a primary is, I mean, everybody says primary election, well, people don't vote anyway, but I remember way back, like John would say, the Wayback Machine. Nobody voted in the primary. I've seen councilors finish 10th or 11th in the primary, then all of a sudden go 6th or 7th in the election, because more people vote in the election.
what I love to do is pick up on what people say to you all the time, and this election for me is go out there and work the people of color. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
Because all I'm ever told is watch out what you say. That's what my friends tell me. Hey, listen, we love you, but you got to watch out what you say. Listen, I've always been a guy that's going to give you my opinion if you like it or not. And I'm going around right now as much as I can with the Spanish people, trying to make my connections there. I've worked hard on trying to get Dan Rivera on the show. He said he'll come on the show. That's the leader
Yeah,
of
he
the
used to be the mayor
coalition.
of Lawrence. He used to be the mayor of Lawrence. Yeah.
He's into Lowell. I gave him an opinion of mine about what he could do for Lowell. I said, don't try to follow what young Ju Chow did, because trying to fill her shoes would be impossible.
Right.
Come up with something different. And
Right.
I said, look at your downtown in Lawrence. I said, I know it's mainly barber shops and fingernail shops, but you got Triple E Pizza and the bakery and different businesses there. That place is booming compared to downtown Lowell.
Oh,
Booming.
if we go, my wife and I will go down to Tripoli's, we'll go down somewhere in Lawrence, have something to eat, or go to the Phoenician, we go back to Lawrence.
Yeah.
It's right, this downtown's, you can't get a pocket spot.
And
Yeah,
that's what I told him. I said, bring what you did in Lawrence. I don't know what he did in Lawrence. I didn't follow the man, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know. People talk about him right
I
off
think he
the
served a
bat.
term and a half. I think he resigned during his, to get this job position, and he was acting, and now he's permanent, right? Am I correct?
But
He was acting director, I think
I
he's
don't,
permanent.
I don't
think
have
so.
a
Yeah.
clue, but I do know this. Watching the schools, because that's all I've ever watched in my life is the schools. It's
Right,
it's a
right.
pretty easy job. Enter the race, I'm telling you. I'm glad Zoe did. I'm glad she came over to the at-large race. She's only going to make it more important and better. That's all she can do is help it.
Do you know
Can
if
she
her
win?
papers all set up?
Yes.
Not from your fan club.
That's all right. Electing Hoey is not change. He has been there, done that. New blood is needed. No doubt about it. You're going to get Danielle McFadden. There's your new blood. Now who do you want out of the next three? That's your question.
Yeah.
Who do you want?
Well,
I
look
know
at
what I did.
Connie Martin, she's been there forever.
Well, no, the way
Talk about old
anybody-
blood.
If someone's sitting out there and saying, I'd like to run for a seat, I don't care if it's city council or schools, just do it. Do it. And,
Yeah.
and you don't get much of a bully pulpit because who's covering us?
Right, right,
This show covers people.
yeah.
There's other things. I'm not going to mention other shows because they don't mention us. It's the way I play my game. I know what I'm doing with myself, and it's an easy job on the school committee.
Now, with the
Listen,
candidates,
take it from a dropout. I've won the seat 4 times. It's simple. You only got 4 powers. That's all you got, 4. One is hire and fire the superintendent. We're very good at that in Lowell. I've worked for 4 superintendents in 4
They work for
years
you. You didn't
in
work.
7 years.
they worked for you, you didn't work for them.
No, you know what I'm saying, though,
Yeah,
Tom.
yeah.
In 7 years, you had 4 of them. It's always, Dr. Kafawi come in, talked about maintenance of effort, and he fixed the racial issue at the high school. That was it. You're done. See you later.
Yeah,
And they got rid of them. And when
Yeah.
I say they, what do you want me to sit here all day? It's nonprofits, a couple
Yeah.
of nonprofits. I'm not going to say their names. It's simple. They have too much influence in our school system.
yeah,
They knock a superintendent's door down looking for jobs.
sure.
John
sure.
and a lot of people talk about this all the time. But to me, if they don't like you, they're not going to vote for you.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I know I'm in this race.
No, there'll
Because
be-
you only
there'll
got
be-
3 people, Connie Martin, myself, and I love to call Connie Martin, Miss CTI. She's number 2. I think there's been conflicts in the past, but hey, I like Connie. It's better than working with the other one. Connie's not going to hurt it as much as I thought the other one was hurting it. She went after the most important person in our school system week after week after week. And I won't say his name no more. Now it's It was all about HR. They were about to hire a new HR person for about 150,000. You know, HR has been broken before Kafawi came in. It was broken, and it was never as good as when Dr. Helen Flanagan had it. But then she put her name up to run for superintendent, which she should have been ours, like maybe Jay Lang should have been ours. But guess what? She got her head cut off. And I like to I hold grudges, I'm not gonna lie. I hold a grudge with my own family. We don't talk sometimes, and especially because they know who I voted for. That happened to me twice in this election so far. I don't care.
I saw in the paper that there's going to beginning, Marty Laurie's going to be having a series of debates on CAP. Did you hear about that?
Marty?
Marty Laurie's going to
really?
start
Good for
doing some.
Marty.
Yeah,
Good for Marty.
a series. Now, have you been invited on other shows at all, like Teddy
Yeah,
show? Or,
yeah,
oh,
Teddy drew me a few invites,
Oh.
and I don't go, Tom, to anywhere I don't like.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
Yeah.
And you hear
What
people.
about CAP? You been on CAP at all?
I've done that in the past.
Okay.
I don't think I'll do it now. I don't need that. Other people might need it. I don't need it. I got this show right here.
Yeah.
And this show, I know the guy behind the mic doesn't want to take credit for it, but this show hits a lot of people that are older than me. I'm told all the time, Tom. I seen you on the show. I seen you on the
It's
show.
amazing how it happens to me too, and and people come up to you, you're on that show. It's just amazing.
I used to hear a lot of it when Ned Tarmey.
And these are non-political people. These are a lot of seniors watch the show. I know
I
they
hate
do.
to be cocky, Tom, but Tuesday's hard to beat. I said it earlier. We're hard to beat, this show. When we had Ned Tarmey here, we were real hard to beat. And I hope Ned's doing okay too, by the way. John, you hear anything about Ned?
I'm going to try to go up and see Ned today. He's in rehab. He's out of the hospital into rehab, and we'll see how he's rehabbing today.
Now, is
If I
the
can get up
rehab the
there.
same place up at Elliott? Or is it
No, he's a different facility now.
Okay, yeah.
You know,
His
like-
nephew Jeff he sends me texts.
Yeah,
Jeff does.
yeah. I tell you, that day you sent us that text, man, that was so scary. He came back like lightning.
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
I went to Del Rossi's party. John did the other day too there.
Tasty stuff.
That's all that matters with McDonough, the food.
And
Well, tonight we
was
got
it?
another one to go to.
Hey,
Sean.
why would she, and I don't want to question
McDonough.
anybody's, why would she have a party in Drake?
oh, I
There's
think-
got to be 1,000
well,
places in the
I'll
world
just-
you can have a party.
She's very friendly with those people. So
Yeah.
it's a thing where
I mean, you just want to support your local, it's...
No, you do, but number one, I.
Oh, and it's a great place.
Yeah,
I mean,
the food was
she went to
really
Brothers,
good.
right? Out
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
yeah. Great food, yeah.
And it turned out pretty good for her.
Yeah.
I mean, parties are parties. They're hard. I haven't
She
had
looks,
one.
as of now, it looks like she's unopposed, right? As of now, we got
Yeah.
7 days,
Yeah, she's.
Looks like Dominic Lay's unopposed. You got 7 days. You got Freddie Bahu.
Well, there's a
Looks like
guy,
he's
but
unopposed.
going back to Dominic Clay, he works hard, even though
Yeah.
he's unopposed. He's
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
who's this?
Dominic.
Does he still work for Kennedy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saw Dave Conway there. Dave Conway's looking good for himself.
Did you see there's somebody running against Dave Conway and running against
Bob Boza, I think the
she's
last
running
name is.
who's the other girl? Kim Scott. She's running
Yeah.
against both of them. I don't think it's legal, is it? I mean, if you're elected to both, can you serve both?
They let him. They let her pull both papers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
she
I don't
can-
think it's illegal.
If she gets the votes,
Wow. Can you imagine?
she'll be put on the
imagine
ballot.
she-
We got
let's pretend
Greg
she won.
Pappas. I think Greg Pappas is coming tomorrow. We'll ask Greg that.
Yeah. Well, if they gave her papers, you're right. Well, I've seen people in the past run for 2 seats, but what if let's just say she's elected? Yeah, she must be able to, if she wins both, she serves both. That'd be something in history, huh?
Yeah, I just, like I said, I've been looking for different ways of getting new people to vote for me. Obviously, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
Most of the time, the people that have supported you in the past, they're going to still be with you
Yeah.
if they like you.
Yeah.
But that's all you got to worry about. Go meet as many people as you can. Then vote.
How many
That's
votes,
what's
Bobby,
hard to
how
do.
many
Tom.
votes do you think will take to win this election? Do you have
Well, I think
500.
500
no. I think
for him,
the-
the school race, yeah?
The at-large race will be so much different. It will be unbelievable in Belvedere, the numbers. Just think about it. Those 4 people that are running for that one seat, they're going to have all their supporters going out to vote. So the whole district that already votes, the biggest in the city. I'll predict this. I think Belvedere, might have a total of votes more than the rest of the city combined because of this election.
They always vote. Yeah.
But because of
Yeah.
this election. Oh, yeah, so to me, Belvedere is where you gotta work. It's not an easy place to work when you called it the swamp 100 times on City Life, you know? But it's the way I felt. They always had control, and I didn't live in Belvedere. I do now.
Wait a minute, I think
do now.
there are 5 candidates for the at-large seat in
Go
the
ahead.
council.
I don't know the
You,
fifth.
you got Sixto de Jesus.
Yeah.
You got Rita Mercia.
Yeah.
Vesna Noon.
Yeah.
Eric Gitchia.
Yeah.
And I thought I saw a name Kaufman.
Well, if they get their signatures in,
Yeah, I
150 and that,
I thought I saw a name, so that'll be a primary for that. If that's,
yeah.
yeah.
Signatures are really harder than people think. You can go to all the parties, okay, which
Yeah.
I don't do. This year I went to the parties that I like the people. That's what I do. And 241 signatures, you turn them in, you find out you only had 190.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm just perusing through the Lowell Sun as you guys are chattering over there.
Yeah, good.
This is Dave Willett. He's on page 3 today, the Lowell Sun.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Dave.
You know, the other person from the acre that won $1 million, I think a couple of times, was Bo James.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I
Bo,
didn't know
Bo
that.
hit $1 million before, at least once.
That's all I need is $1 million. That's all. I don't need all this. Jeez, just to pay
But
the mortgage
this guy
off there.
here, though, Dave Olette, boy, I tell you,
Nice guy.
yeah, he needed that. That's a nice hit for a person. Yeah, he's already thinking about what he's going to do. You want me to? I'll bet you anything he helps CBA a little bit more, and really doesn't. I know he's not looking for the credit, but I don't think he ever really got much credit for what he did for that coalition of a better acre. I can't, other than Young Ju Chow, I can't think of anybody that done more than Dave Olette. So,
We know
congratulations,
he's the health
Dave.
director in Dracut. I think.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to see him. He was going to retire next spring anyway. I think he'll probably push that forward now. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
Dracot's like Chelmsford. They score a lot of good people off of Lowell. Gotta watch you. I gotta watch Dracot, you know? Sometimes, wasn't it you guys taking water from us at one time?
Not
I'm just
me.
joking. Not you. Hey,
But Dracut, it's funny now. You go into town hall and I was chatting with a friend of mine, and when I worked for the town starting in 1980, everybody in town hall lived in Dracut. Now the majority of people that work in town hall don't live in Dracut. They're out here. They live here. They live there.
well, that's how it was when I was on the
Yeah.
school committee.
And I don't know how the city of Lowell is. I mean,
Oh.
City Hall. I mean, there are a lot of people live out
Just
of town.
got to know Golden.
I gotta go.
How'd you get your job? Oh, I knew Tom Golden.
Well, if
That's how it works at Lowell.
I remember correctly, we had about 101 custodians, all right? And more than half didn't live in Lowell.
Yeah.
That always bothered me. So, matter of fact, I'm pretty sure it was John McDonough gave me the idea, make sure anybody from Lowell gets a final interview.
Yeah.
And boy, they didn't want that. They still, to this day, they still moan and groan about that, about giving a person from Lowell the final interview.
Well-
Because that's another big issue of mine, is going to be who's in charge. I thought,
Well,
you know,
Bobby, we have 2 colleges in town.
yeah.
And we always brag about it. We got UMass, Lowell. We have Middlesex Community College, the free college. And we got 2 colleges, but nobody's smart enough to work for the city of Lowell. The city of Lowell is the largest employer in the city. And I'll bet you the town of Dracot's the largest employer in Dracot.
You know, and what you're saying is,
But again, like I lost 2 hires in Dracut, where the top fires was the assistant town clerk and the finance director. I mean, but how many people are qualified out there that live in Dracut to be the assistant town clerk? You have to have some experience. It's just like a finance director.
yeah, there's some
you know?
jobs, there's no
Yeah.
doubt. It's
And
all-
unless you're
We
well,
got a nice girl. We got a nice
Tommy,
girl.
unless you're well connected,
well, we have one that's very important when you.
Well, I couldn't serve. I don't care who I knew. I couldn't be the assistant town clerk because I don't know the position. I mean, it's
Yeah, well,
okay, I just clipped this out of the Sunday Sun.
yeah.
And this is a pretty good list of
See,
who's
Emo
pulled papers.
Kaufman. I had the name right. Yeah.
So if
So they'll have a primary.
they return the papers, they have a primary. You're right, Tom. Because they got Eric 1, Rita 2, Vesna 3, Sexto 4, Emil Kaufman 5. So they got a primary.
Yep.
If they all return their papers.
The Cinderella in that race right there is Sixto. Yeah,
Dan Rooks looks like he's unopposed.
yeah.
Corey Robinson's got Paulette. She's been around a while, right?
Karagianis.
She's been around, right?
Yeah, that's-
Yeah. Corey Belanger in trouble.
I'd like to say something
Yeah.
about that last one, Centerville.
Yeah.
When I say they, there's a group that wants Eric Gitcher gone. I've said that how many times? 100? Well, there's no doubt that they can't get Eric, so let's go after the second best thing, Corey Robinson. Well, I'm working hard for Corey Robinson myself, and I have a lot of friends in Centerville, so good luck to you, Corey.
But it's a woman, Bob, and his issue was with a woman, and
No,
women.
that's all right. That's
I'm
all
telling you, I don't think he's in trouble, but I just think,
Well, that's my point, my opinion is that was a late entry, and that's how I think they think.
Yeah.
Can't get Eric, but we can get rid of the guy that gives him a second all the time, Corey Robinson, but Corey's a worker.
yeah. And then you got Corey Belanger, who I think's in trouble. He's got 3 strong candidates there, and then in Centerville you got Wayne. That Sean McDonough really impressed me last week. I don't know about you guys. He really impressed me.
His party's tonight down at the Wapping
Yeah.
Left at 5 o'clock.
I'd like to say something about District 3 again.
Good.
It's easy to say Corey doesn't have a shot. Corey has a lot of friends over there.
Well, I didn't say he
and I
has a
know-
shot. He's in trouble. I didn't say he's in.
Well,
You don't think he is?
well, no, I think, of course, I'm for Danny Finn, so
Yeah.
I hope he is, but he's sitting on the seat right now. That's always a big factor, that's a big thing. He's been there, they can watch what he does every week, so he's definitely a contender. Okay, a lot of people, I do hear that, you don't have a chance, well, believe me, I know who his friends are, and you always got a chance when you got friends like he does.
Okay, I live in South Lowell. Who's running against Kim Scott? And
That-
I believe it's Sherry Barbosa.
It is. Do we know who Sherry Barbosa is?
No.
We
but
never
let's-
had. Okay. It is
Kim
Sherry.
Scott and Challenger right there.
Yeah, Sherry Barbosa.
Yeah, well, Kim's been working harder than I've ever seen her work, to be honest with you. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
we
got
got,
signs up galore. I was in South.
For a primary at large, they need a number of seats times 2 plus 1, so 7. They need 7 candidates for a preliminary election. That's this
I-
viewer's take on it.
I don't think so. I think it's 5, but they might be right. We'll know if Greg will know tomorrow when he's here.
Yeah, it's just get out and work.
I like sudden death myself.
Well, that's what you're going to get.
On a primary election, nobody gets elected.
We were talking, I tried to get in a couple of times when we were talking about the hiring and making sure Lowell people get a final interview. Well, right now, if you look at Lowell, if you follow what's going on in our city, it's being loaded with people from Lawrence.
Right.
Everybody's from Lawrence. And I thought a few years ago, the school committee voted to
Bobby,
let a principal be in charge, of a building, and he has a school site council that sits with him, and they go over the way that school needs to spend their money. I thought it was a great idea.
Bobby,
Yep.
a well-seasoned elected school committee person put into my ear this fact. You run the Lawrence school system, and Tommy runs the Lowell school system. Lowell politician calls the Lowell guy and says, hey, look, I got to get my daughter a job. So, look, I can't get her a job in Lowell, but I can get her a job in Lawrence. He drops a dime to the Lawrence guy and says, hey, will you hire this person? Here's Eric, get you. And that's how it works. Hey, Eric, you want to talk? I'll bring you over. Good morning. Hang on one second.
He'll give us the
Tom,
answer. He'll give us
please,
the answer.
do me a favor, though. Go
Yeah.
back to the Lawrence thing we were just talking about later, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
But that's how it works. They don't
Well,
want
I
elected
have-
officials involved.
I have something I want to say against that. I'll wait until Eric's done.
You guys can say good morning to Eric.
Good morning, Eric.
Eric, you there, lad?
I'm here.
Good
Okay.
morning, Eric.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tom. Question for you is, Now, when you guys bring up Lawrence a lot, you have to remember that Lawrence is still under receivership. So the state has control of Lawrence, not Lawrence government. Yes, the mayor controls the budget that is set forth by...
Oh,
He hung up.
call back?
We lost
He'll,
you.
he'll call back.
Oh, I hit call back.
We lost
Wrong
you.
button. He'll
We
call
lost you, buddy.
He could have walked into a corridor, too. That's okay.
You there? Now I can't hear him.
Put him on speaker.
Oh. Hold on, Bobby. Hold on. Speak. Jesus.
It's right there. We lost you,
Speaker.
buddy.
There you go. You hear us now?
I can hear you.
All
Hi,
right.
Bob. Hi, Tom. How are you?
Good, good. Oh, good.
Good. Now, let's remember about Lawrence. The thing that we're not taking into account is that they're still under receivership.
Yeah.
So the state has control of Lawrence. So it's not Lawrence government running that community at all. Yes, you have a strong mayor who can account for the funding sources, but they don't have control over any of the spending. It has to go to a board first.
Right. Now I'm looking at something totally different. The schools, right now, the person in charge of all the principals that Liam Skinner hired, she was the principal of the school next to me. Wendy Roberge is her name. She's from Lawrence. And even like if you look at our high school, it's being run by a guy from Lawrence. Recently you have promotions going up for vice principal, and they're choosing people from Lawrence.
I married a girl from Lawrence.
Well,
I mean,
that's why to me, and I'm just saying for a school seat, you know, I like the idea of principal being in charge of a building and in charge of everything in his building, on who he wants to hire, what custodians if he wants to have. He should be able to have the ones, if you don't do the job, get rid of them and let them go back into a pool where they use them at other schools. But I know principals don't have that kind of power. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
Ask Eric how many
Well-
have got to be in the race for a preliminary for at-large.
Eric, how many people do you need in your race to have a primary? 5 or 7?
I believe 7. I
Oh,
believe
wow.
it's 7. I believe it's the number of open seats times 2 plus 1.
Oh, that's
So I
what I-
believe like a regular district seat is 1 seat, so times 2 is 2. And if you get 3 people to run, that's the reason why it triggers it.
Oh, okay.
But
All
if
right.
there's only 2 people, then no, it wouldn't happen.
Then that person was right.
You know, when you look at ed reform, Bob, you're 100% right. The principal has control of the school, no matter what anybody thinks. But, you know, to become a principal, you need to be appointed by the superintendent. So, you see how that works?
Oh,
And
yeah.
if you don't like it at the end of the year, superintendent don't like what you do, then you're moved out no matter what.
Well,
So
why
I
do
think
we
that
give
the
principals
control, you're
contracts?
right, 100% on the ed reform, but the problem is that politics and government get in the way.
Why do we give principals contracts?
Why do we give principals contracts, John McDonough's asking?
Why don't we?
Why do we?
Why do we?
Why do we? I think for that very reason, right, John? So that they have some sort of control that has an outlier outcome that you get to see. If you disagreed with them this second weekend, I'm not sure you'd see a lot of
we
people
have
come
to-
to you if
Eric,
you hold people accountable.
We gotta demand excellence out the door, okay? I don't want to get some bureaucrat that's gonna run. I know one principal who doesn't deal with anything. Doesn't deal with anything at the
Well,
school. Has a contract, she's writing on
John,
her
you got to
contract.
remember that the city of Lowell is really a transfer station for the population that's within it, right? So a lot of times what happens is, kids who have disabilities and everything get thrown into the city of Lowell's public school system. And the ones that people want to transfer out who have means and money, they go to the private schools or they go to, the charter schools or another jump off. So, Lowell turns over students fast. So when we look at MCAS scores, it's a very, very hard transition. I think one of the major questions to the school system is how many kids actually transfer in every year and follow that path, and where do they lie on the scale of grading systems? I think that really is a telltale point for a lot of people. I've had many people who send their kids to private schools and they can't keep up, so they send them back to the public schools.
Well, let me put this question out there. in Lowell, I don't have to go to any classes. I can skip the whole year, and I'm getting promoted. And senior
Yeah,
year,
no question.
I can
There's no
skip the
question.
whole-
There's a flaw in government right now. John, it's the same
I'm
thing
almost
as
done, Eric, I'm
society.
almost done. I got my question coming up. Why does Lowell get paid for me? I never went to school. Why does Lowell get paid?
Well, John, it's the same thing as society. Why do we arrest people over and over again and they get thrown out of the courthouse? And they go right back to your streets. It's society's settings of the standards that we will accept, and that's what's going on. If you give people outcomes that you want to see, you'll see, production. And yes, there'll be failures in between, but we're in a system right now, in a time in society where we want everybody to have a trophy and everybody to succeed. But we don't want to do the work. Everybody wants to be the World Series hero, but nobody wants to put in the work behind the scenes to get there. And that's the hard part. You can buy a seats at a cheap seats, but to get on that field, you got to work hard.
Yeah.
And I think that's life. And now we dummied it down too far, where now we're giving out things and people are expecting the gifts.
I have to say this now because we got you on there. It's almost like saying thank you so much, because I know every time we get someone like you to call in here, I'll be the number one show, or will be the number one show again. But I wear your hat everywhere I go, and I know how to work. When it comes to an election, I'm going after the people of color. I'm telling you now, I'm going after Spanish people. I'm trying to make as many inroads with Spanish that I can, because I feel that they're going to be a better number than they've ever been. I'm hoping that they come out and vote finally, because they did not vote in my whole career here, watching that vote. But I do know a lot of Spanish people. I've been pushing them. But one guy said to me, "You wear that hat and you're running for your own seat? Why do you wear that hat?" I says, "Because I know what this man's all about." He goes, "I listen to that man myself. That man's a know-it-all." I goes, "Well, listen, when it comes to city government, he does know it all. But what people don't see that I see in you is what you do with children out at that school. And yes, am I jealous of that school out there? Of course I am. I used to say it all the time, you guys cherry pick. I know how important that school is. And I said it last week, and I'm going to say it one more time. Because of people like you and your brother and Tom Cassidy and Fred Bahu and many more, Kozlowski and Payer, all these names.
Tim Fallon.
Timmy Fallon, of course. How do I forget Timmy Fallon? But you know what it is? I look at you, it's the way you handle children. And if they ever knew how you handle the kids out at the Voc and what you do during the summer and after hours with them, buddy, you don't have any problem in this election, as far as I'm concerned. And
Bob,
yep.
Bob, one of the telltale things about people is when they say something like somebody's a know-it-all, without explaining what they're talking about, they just don't like the person. And I'm very okay with that there's probably something that I got somebody upset with. But at the end of the day, Greater Lowell doesn't cherry pick anybody.
That's
They set
okay.
standards. They set standards that come in. If you're going out to employment in the real world, if you're out 27 days, guess what? You're not getting hired and you won't have a job long. And we can't train people in the atmosphere of co-op and the work world of trades if somebody doesn't come to school, and then it sets back the whole system because we're trying to retrain somebody, taking one educator that we have a hard time getting already to go on the side and try to train somebody, and the other kid's skill set falls behind. So those are major issues when you're trying to train people for the work world.
Eric, when I throw out the cherry picking thing, that's the Trump in me, buddy. I don't mean to do things sometime. But when you're doing so well, and I do know people are afraid to send their kids at Lowell High School.
Would Eric agree to only the ripe get chosen?
What's that?
Only the ripe get chosen.
Eric, would you agree, this is from John McDonough, would you agree when you hear the comment, only the ripe get chosen?
Well, I'm glad that I was the ripe kid back then. I know that news.
When you
But
said
I guess I was
standards,
ripe, even though, I was a kid who went to work every day and tried to give my honest. Imagine if the world had the same standards and said, look, you know what, we want you to come to work and we'll teach you something. Imagine what a world we'd live in. The problem is that sometimes we push the negative over the positives and try to not bring people up to the next level, but we want to bring everybody down to the level prior to. And if we can move this pendulum a little bit further in a direction where we can hold people to a standard, I think the whole world achieves. We can't keep having the giveaways in the city of Lowell that we have. Everything can't be a subsidy, because then who pays for it? I'm listening to candidates run right now that are telling you all these great ideas until you say to them, okay, where is the funding source coming from? Yeah, we need affordable housing, but who's going to pay for that affordable housing? Who's going to pay for these things that we're already, in trouble with the high school overrun, and we have so many other issues that are going on with monies right now? You're going to see layoffs coming, and people, and they've been saying this for 3 years. Reckless spending on some parts is going to cost us in the end. That Smith Baker was broken into by juveniles yesterday. Okay, and we had the money with opera funding in place to actually do something with that building, but the council second-guessed themselves and switched page.
why are you
And now it's going to cost the
giving
taxpayer in the end.
Why are you giving the DPD their own building? You'll never hear from them again. What does the DPD do?
Well, I voted against that, John. I think that one of the major reasons why downtown fails is because now it's a government district. It's no longer a business district. And if you go down there, you'll see it's a government district. You're not fluctuating into business, because getting business is a hard work. Putting government in there is an easy solution, and it's a returning cost that will always return, but it doesn't really build on the business platform that we're trying to sell. So I think there are other places that we could have looked at to do something like that, but I disagree. I think the building has a lot of work that's needed. The electrical is 1985. There's asbestos in the building. I went through the building. They tell you how it's not really laid out well. There's a lot of old carpet in there. The roof is old. The parking lot needs work, but we'll tell you how great it is.
Where are they going?
Excuse me,
Where are
sir.
they going? Where's DPD going?
In the-
40
Align Credit
Market
Building.
Street.
Align Credit.
Excuse me, was that the Riley School you were just talking about?
We were working on that, Bob.
just
and
kidding.
I think that we're seeing some good movement on that. People talk about this council and not doing stuff. We took on a lot of deficiencies from past councils all the way through, and we've actually put a foot forward and started to correct them. Yes, they will take years to correct, but we have put our foot forward and actually started into capital planning and started into big buildings and moving these pieces of maintenance of effort and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that you're going to see the outcome in the next 3 years, and maybe I won't be elected to see it, but I'll be a resident to. I just think some decisions made today, you won't see the outcome for another 5 years. But when you see that outcome, some council or some person is going to take credit for something that they had nothing to do with. As the same as some people in councils take faults for things that were the past faults, and we've seen it over and over again. We talk about it every day. Our roads are deplorable because the felt as though saving money back then was getting levy was a better approach, but in the end we're paying 3 times the amount because the monies that have been inflated due to COVID and everything.
Hey, Eric, I heard a rumor that the superintendent out there is retiring pretty soon, the Volk School. That true or false?
I don't know that answer.
Yeah, I heard that break it last week, yeah.
I think that she's done a fabulous job, and when you look at her career, she's been here almost 30 years, and I'm sure the day's coming. Do I know? I don't know that answer.
Yeah. Okay, I just heard that rumor.
Listen, I appreciate you calling in,
Hey,
but
I got a question for you.
he's got another question. If you don't hang up, you're going to be here all day.
Okay,
Go ahead.
backing the bus up to the Align Credit Building that Mr. Golden's buying, the Golden man is buying for his DPD. My question comes back again, Eric, and I didn't hear the answer. Maybe you didn't hear the question. What does DPD do? Page 2. There's a parking area that goes with that building. That should be turned into public parking. There's a big shortage of parking in downtown Lowell. DPD Last time I visited there, you can't walk into their office. You gotta be buzzed in. What does
I
the
think
DPD do?
we may be confusing what the reasoning is for this. You know, the police station's deplorable and needs to be renovated, and moving them out gives them an opportunity to move offices in other areas and start renovating the area in a different way. So I think that, you know, that the purchase to move them out is a very good purchase because of the way the police station's situated right now, but is it the overall piece? No.
What does the DPD do?
They design, they develop, they go out to contracts, economic development. There's a lot of things that they do.
How many employees they got over there, like 100?
I don't know the exact number, John. You probably would know the number
So
exactly.
you
better than
got
that.
the DPD that's out of the city hall, you got the health department that's out of city hall. They guys just have these district
Well,
What
offices.
does the, but John, what I'm asking is, what does the DPD do?
The idea to the purchase is taking other departments that are now currently renting in other areas and bringing them over there, so it actually absorbs the cost of the bond.
Do you guys, city councilors, do you ever think we have too many employees, too many administrators? Does that ever cross your mind?
I would absolutely. Numbers.
Yeah.
Eric, I'm sorry, we can't
You
quote you for
look
giving-
at our IT department.
You stop walking around the building, buddy. You're breaking up. Would you repeat what you said about too many employees? You're breaking up.
Yeah, yes, I would agree with you. Yes, it's definitely has saturation. Yes.
Thank you. Got any more
All
questions?
right, I gotta go.
Oh, man, you're the best. Thank you so
Come in
much.
live pretty
See ya.
soon. Come in live pretty
All right,
soon.
bye-bye.
Thanks,
Bye,
Eric.
pal.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, you know, that's not only what he does as a city councilor, you should see what he does with the children at that school at night.
Thanks, Tommy.
He gets them into maintaining the school, Tom, painting, cleaning. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And you never know about the youthful vote. Look at what's going on in New York.
Sure,
right?
sure. Oh, my
They're
God.
waking up, and I'm telling you, to me, it's coming in Lowell. Maybe not this election cycle, but without a doubt, I think the Spanish vote, and that's what I've been working hard on, I think they could mean something in this race. I really do.
I think you got Danielle McFadden, who's young. You got Sean McDonough, that's young. I think John McDonough was right when he said a few months back, get a young 40-year-old something person. This
This
kid's
kid's
30.
not even,
This kid's,
he's 29.
he's 29. I think he's in this race, and he came across very well here. And if he comes across very well to the public, he's going to win that thing, you know. But
Well, again, you know what I like about him, but he's not going to grab a whole lot of votes just because he knows Portuguese, which is a plus. My neighborhood has a lot of Portuguese, my old neighborhood, I should say. I moved up Lawrence Street a little bit. But,
it's a weird district. Like
well,
you say.
no, yeah, the Portuguese have moved out just like the
I told him,
Caucasian.
I told him, for example, I hope he does. I told him to get in touch with Paul Belay. Very key in that district. You know, Paul's very down at his end and could get him some votes. I hope you remember that.
That's where
you
the
know?
people do vote, in
Yeah.
that district.
Yeah.
You know, it's a tough district,
Yeah.
without a doubt. Downtown is the main vote. The kid lives there, so that ought to help him,
Yeah.
without a doubt. But, you know, it's never easy to beat an incumbent. Never.
No, oh no,
It's never
no.
easy.
You haven't seen it. We haven't seen it happen too many times. You know, especially in a district race like that. We haven't seen a district person get knocked out yet, have we? No.
Yeah, you know,
No.
funny where we just had Eric call in, but I haven't had many people call me over the years for anything other than, can you get me a job? Okay? I didn't even get my Uncle Bill a job that passes out the checks in the school system. Bill Samaras got him that job.
No, when you say passes out the checks, John
Yeah.
was just saying about these
Yeah,
jobs.
payday.
He goes out and hands. the
Yeah,
checks.
that's what he
They
does.
get paid
That's
for
his
doing
job.
that. Wow.
Yeah. Hey, they don't pay them much.
I wanna
Fucking
get that job.
delivery guy.
I know, I always
Guys,
say.
we're running short on the hour, so I'm gonna hog some stuff right here.
Mr. my good friend Clem.
Good morning, John, Bob, Tom. Proudest day of my life this past Saturday. Twin daughter, Catherine.
Yep.
Got married, twin daughter. And Elizabeth was maid of honor. Congratulations, Catherine and Kyle. That's from Clem Canola.
Clem Connell is one of the best guys in Dragut.
Now, I'm gonna fan through these pictures he sent me. I gotta do,
He was a very proud father.
let's see if we go backwards here, what happens? Yeah, well, look at
Look at that. Look at him. He's a
Beautiful.
yeah.
Beautiful,
Retired
right?
firefighter.
She's awesome. Oh my God, beautiful girl.
Yeah. He's a retired firefighter. He's given his life to Dracut, and just an all-around great guy.
Beautiful weather day.
Yeah.
Beautiful backyard he has. See, you drinking people got all these.
No, that's Manchester Country Club. That's our
That's
backyard.
his backyard. Every drinking firefighter has a backyard like that. But hey, they're beautiful pictures.
Yeah. I tried to get Clemmy to come on here someday, but he's a busy man in the morning.
So that's, congratulations.
Yep.
Did you see that picture of John
One more picture
Zimini?
of the bride and her dad.
Yep.
I seen a picture on Facebook, John Zimini on a duck tour.
Yeah.
His birthday,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
a good photo, too.
Yeah. Well, I turned a big 7-0 this Sunday, Bobby. I'm with
You
you
do?
now. Yep.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
What
My
kind
wife-
of fanfare's in store, Bob? Or Tom?
Nothing. I'm not into that. Just me and my wife will do something quiet. Her birthday's on Friday, mine's is on Sunday. So we just do something.
My favorite weekends at the end of this month, I go up to Saratoga with some retired prison guys.
You do that?
Well, they're not retired. They just bring me along. I'm
I
the
used to love it. I've
retired
been
one.
there a couple of times with Bob McGuire, Mike McGuire. We had good times
A lot
down
of
there.
fun, yeah. A lot of fun. Salvation Army usually sits out there. I take pictures in front
It's
of them.
amazing. I hate to think what they bring in.
Yeah.
Because we don't do any, that's the only place to do summer bell ringing is a place like that. And oh my God. You figure a guy that hits big, automatic probably just throw a $50 bill in
Yeah,
that
they
container.
catch them going in more than they catch
Yeah.
them going out,
Yeah.
you know, because most people lose, you know.
Yeah.
The track's not there to get beat, but it's so much fun, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a farm.
You still going up this year?
Yeah, we're going
Yeah.
up the end of the month.
Yeah.
Just 3 days,
Yeah.
you know. It's we rent one of those Airbnbs, they call
Okay,
them,
yep,
right?
yep.
About $365 a person.
Now, these are guys you work with in the
Yeah,
correctional
like
system?
7 of us,
Yeah.
8 of us most
Yeah.
of the time,
Yeah. Good.
But it's a great area. One time I was up there, had to get an ambulance. I had a diabetic seizure my first
Oh,
time.
you told me that. Yeah.
Yeah, just because I was eating too much. I was out celebrating, you know. But I won't let that happen again.
How was the establishment last night, John? Was that where you were last night?
Delicious.
Yeah.
Those people know how to put some food out there.
Did it get a 10.5?
10.07.
Oh, okay.
So they went above 10, and everybody was happy. They had a
Yeah.
good time.
Yeah.
I got pictures of that, so let me go.
Did you guys hit the place in Pelham, the Greek restaurant? I'm going there for lunch today with my wife.
Yeah, Mas?
Yeah. No, the other one, the one in Pelham, Kakalak. It begins
Yeah,
with a
we've
K.
been there. Oh, you're going to love it.
Yeah.
We loved it. It was
Going for
great.
lunch there today.
It was great.
So I hope Rodney, we haven't heard from Rodney yet, so he's on at 7.
Rodney's coming.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
He always makes it. Let me go. I'm going to go to Facebook and get those pictures. Once the computer gets them.
I locked your door too, by the way.
That's all right. We're good.
Yeah.
Good.
You know, there's a couple of minutes on the dawn patrol still,
Yeah.
right? I was just thinking about when I said over the years getting calls about a job or getting a call or this. I had someone call me and say, hey, I know you're a big supporter of Eric Gitcher. Can you talk to him? He's really hard on me. The guy's a custodian, you know, I won't say names, but he wanted me to get the heat taken off him. I said, all I'll tell you, do your job.
Yeah.
Do your job, you know.
Yeah.
But the way they talk to the kids, too, is so important.
Yeah.
And those names I mentioned, they all relate with children real well.
So
you know?
this is the establishment last night. Went out, and this is in Chelmsford, and food was great. And I'm going to fan through the pictures here. Let's see. That's chicken palm,
Yeah.
and this is a cheeseburger.
That looks pretty good.
That's a cheeseburger with a lot more stuff.
It's all healthy food.
And that's a slider for 3 sliders. Oh. And then we had this delicious salad. Another one of the gals had this delicious salad. Chicken,
Food looks good.
meat lovers pizza. Was a good time. So we're going to go off to Breakland, boys,
All right.
and we'll be back. Thanks. For you guys that know Lowell, this is Walnut Street right here. That's the rooftops for Walnut Street. Looking up to Belvedere here, that's Lawrence Street. These are condos. A lot of good friends lived on Walnut. Walnut Street always had a good tribe of people, a lot of fun. We'll be back in a minute.
Ready to go?
Ready? Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the July 15th edition of City Life. We are halfway through July. Bob Hoey, my co-host, how are you this morning?
Great,
Yep.
great day.
Talk a lot. We got a lot to talk about. We got 7 days to go before filing of papers for the official filing, takeout, whatever. And I think you told me your papers are all certified,
I
right?
went down yesterday, yeah.
Yep.
I had plenty, and I brought in another 35, but I brought in 240 and 35, about 280 votes, and I got over
Sure.
200 that
Sure.
have been certified.
That's
so
great.
I'm all set.
And you got 4 candidates in the race, right? You got Danielle McFadden, yourself, Zoe, and Connie Martin, right? Connie Martin's the incumbent, right?
Yeah. And we're going for just 2 seats.
Right, right.
So Danielle McFadden, in my opinion, should, and I hope she does, top the ticket. And then you got 3 people left over, myself, Connie, and Zoe.
Yeah.
And so you'll be picking one of those 3 for the other seat.
Sure.
And there's plenty of time still, you know, there's 7 more days for people to get their votes in.
Yeah,
You can go down, get your paperwork, make sure you fill out the top of it, and go out and get your signatures you can get on the ballot. I'd like to see a couple more come out just to have a primary. I don't mind primaries, I think sometimes they're
well, like you
fun.
say, you can go down and tomorrow and take them out and have your signatures by the end of the week. you know,
Right, but
it's,
without the primary, you don't know how you're doing, especially someone that's new. You get a good feel of how you're doing when you've already run for the seat a few times. This
Yeah.
will be my 5th time trying to win a school seat.
Yeah,
I won 4 times.
Yeah.
So I lost the city council seat 3 times.
yeah,
And you know why you lost. City council, if you don't raise money, you won't have a shot. I don't know why money makes a difference. I really don't know
Yeah.
why, but you need about 10,000 easy to be a city councilor.
oh, easy.
You
That's-
know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So it's not easy to win any seat. And but I really do hope that this Danielle McFadden wins
Yeah.
and tops the ticket, because she deserves it just by entering the race. She's excited a few people like myself. She got me out there, and I think I got Zoe involved. I met her at Corey Robinson's party, and I don't go to everybody's, but I do go to the ones I like. Just went to Eileen Del Rossi's party,
Yep,
and it's all good. It's
Yeah.
all good.
great, great.
Is that a state rep with a helmet? With a helmet? Okay. With a helmet?
Hop up, I'm gonna give you.
Yes, sir.
You gotta sit there.
No, that's a hot seat.
Make sure you turn that on, that's all. Hit your button.
Well, welcome to State Representative Rodney Elliott.
Good morning, good morning.
State Representative Rodney Elliott, former Mayor Rodney Elliott, present Chairman of the Lowell Housing Authority Rodney Elliott, future
keep busy.
future candidate.
None of them are paying jobs.
So
What I like the Housing Authority is, it's interesting, and both of you can attest that once you stop learning at the local level or whatever position you're in, then maybe it's time to do something else. But I'm sure you both found there's always so much to learn on the local level, and the Housing Authority is just a completely different, let's say, completely different animal. There's so many programs, so many, I'm still learning, and I've been around probably, some would say, too long, but yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you're going to be here today, and you're starting right off talking about the housing. I think it's an issue you should hear, that especially on a few, the one on High Street seems to be having a lot of people with mental health issues inside the housing, causing some violence, let's put it that way, against some of its tenants. I've seen it. I've had people call me on that issue. And I have a lot of things to say about the South Common, the old Bishop Markham. But I won't make that the big issue today. It's just there's some things that need to be cleaned up in the housing, without a doubt. But mental health is hurting that place too. It really is hurting it.
Point well taken, and it's a challenge. It's a challenge with housing court. And I guess we can get right into it, because we've had these discussions at our housing authority meetings and our monthly meetings, and it's a little frustrating for members of the housing authority, the employees, and the residents. We have approximately 1,300 evictions that we are consistently trying to process.
Wow. Wow.
People don't pay their rent. Other various issues that I don't know if I can talk about them
Right.
because of HIPAA laws or not, but it's frustrating. The homeless situation is terribly frustrating. We have been working with the city to try to get additional police presence there, which we have received. We opened up a police precinct at Bishop Markham. It doesn't seem to be working as well as we think that anyone would think that is, because residents or guests of residents let the homeless people in. Or, I can't tell you how many steel doors we replaced. I know at one point in time, it was 2 or 3 months that we replaced 3 steel doors. They rip off the card readers so they can gain access. So it's an ongoing battle. The tenants should not have to deal with that. There is drug dealing that the police know. They work on that. The housing authority knows. At one point in time, we had security, and I know I'm rambling here, but we had security at Bishop Markham and I believe another complex before I was on the board, and which is fine, but the perpetrators or the homeless, they know that they're just security. They can't do anything. So what happens is, and it was expensive, naturally, we end up calling the police. So having that additional police presence does make a difference. But it's an ongoing, and it's not there. I mean, you mentioned High Street, mental health issues without a doubt with some residents, and we do our best to try to get services
I
to.
want to jump back to Clem Cannoli. He sent a text in. Thanks for posting, John. The backyard was Manchester Country Club, Bedford, New Hampshire, where I got married 33 years ago. Wow. Beautiful venue, no MBTA in New Hampshire. You can imagine 1,200 housing units on this land, live free or die. So Clem, congratulations.
Clem's, like I said to you, Clem's a class act. Great guy. Retired firefighter, Drake it,
Nice
and
picture of you walking her down the aisle.
there she is, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So back to you guys, thanks.
So-
Thanks,
So-
congratulations, lucky dog.
Congratulations, yeah, just saw him at town meeting.
So how's everything down at the State House?
Well, we're in session tomorrow. We're going to adopt another $300 million for roads and bridges, continue to do that. I'd like to see more, without a doubt. Communities would like to see more. If there's one thing that I have heard consistently, and you have, and Bobby has, fix my streets. Not just the potholes, but there are some roads in Lowell and throughout the Commonwealth that haven't been paved, and I can tell you, at least in Pawtuckaville and Centerville and other sections of the city, I don't know, South Lowell,
Yeah, a lot of
maybe
areas,
30
yeah.
years, 40 years, I don't know. There are some old, if you get on some old side streets, particularly in Pawtuckaville, where they're in rough shape. So we continue that's it's an earlier vote.
The elephant in the room. Are you guys, is Boston gonna come up with the $50 million we need for the high school, or is that done?
I
No
don't,
money.
that I don't know. I mean, we did get an additional 40 million when the bids came in during COVID. There was a $100 million appropriation for those communities that bid during COVID. Tingsboro got 1.4 million, Lowell got 38.9, and other communities got others. I don't know the answer to that question. I know Senator Kennedy and I speak all the time about it, and I don't know where that money is going to come from, and so
Okay, thank you.
that's a tough one. I sit on the school building committee, and we have a meeting tomorrow night to talk about these numbers. The 17th,
Lori,
excuse
your
me.
hand coming?
Is Lori Trahan? I don't think Lori's on the committee. I haven't seen her at a meeting yet. No, I think no.
$50 million.
Does she have the 50? I don't think she has. I don't know if anybody has the $50 million. To be
There's no
honest
money
with
out
you,
there.
but-
I mean, it's just the tough times and.
No.
Oh, there is. John knows where the money is.
It's in my pocket.
John knows where the money is.
Tommy Golden loves going up, and these are my words, not yours. Tommy Golden has no trouble going to the taxpayer's pocket. And he gets it from the council. Let's extend his contract again. He's got no, that's why I'm dependent on
They are the board of directors.
the state and the feds to pay for our high school. That's just me.
Recently, I've been over the Rourke Bridge. Yesterday, day before, a few times. I can't wait till that project's finished.
Sorry,
We
my
need-
mic was off. All that good
That
stuff.
could
Do
be, and that's someone I played a lot of baseball with, Timmy Rourke. I go way back with
Yeah.
him. But that
Tragedy.
bridge, I can't wait to see that bridge completed.
Well, that's a good segue, and Bobby and I did not plan this, but coincidentally tonight, and they have started work, by the way. If you drive over the bridge, you can see the
Yep.
boat in the water. They're, I don't know the technical name, but I think they're doing, let's say, test borings. But they're They did all in there this good with this. stuff when Bernie Lynch was here.
What's that?
They did all this good stuff when Bernie Lynch was the mayor.
No, they absolutely didn't. We're not in the river. They were doing, they were perhaps doing environmental permitting, without a doubt. But this is the real deal. So tonight at 6:30, July 15th,
6:30 at the Collegiate Charter School on Middlesex Street. This is the school, the charter school that is past the Rourke Bridge if you're going to North Chelmsford, and you take a right and it's set off. So that's tonight at 6:30. There's a public hearing. Mass DOT will be there, and we hope there'll be a good crowd. I think there's going to be a very good crowd just for folks that may want to go. July 8th, I attended a public hearing with Mass DOT on another roadway project I've been working on in North Chelmsford, and it's a relatively small project in comparison to this, but 27 people showed up. July 8th, I forget what day that was. It was probably last Wednesday.
So is this a hearing to update the people as to where the project stands?
Yeah, they're going to
Okay.
present a slide deck. The delegation was briefed a week ago on this, on the project and the timeline, and there's some nice schematics, or there's some nice artist renderings of what the bridge is going to look like. They're going to talk about phasing, talk about everything.
Projected finish 2028, is that with?
2028 is construction of the new bridge. Final completion is 2029. People say, wait a minute, it's already slipped a year. It hasn't slipped a year. That 2029 end date will be the demobilization of the existing bridge.
Oh, okay.
That bridge is not going to stay there, and it'll
Right.
take some time to take it down. But opening is late 2028.
Okay.
And they're going to, I don't want to, steal the
believe
thunder of
it.
Mass
There are
DOT,
so
but
many-
it's going to be a phased-in
There are
opening.
still so many naysayers and negative people who say,
I
"That's
don't
not gonna
blame them.
happen.
I
It's
mean,
not
it's
gonna
been
happen."
43 years, 42.
It's like the courthouse.
I remember when that bridge was open.
There'll never be
I
a
mean, I-
courthouse. There'll never be a new courthouse, and there was a new courthouse
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
while, but,
So people say, what about the federal funding? What about the state funding? Is it in place? It came in $73 million above the actual projected number. Money's in place. This has been adopted, believe it or not, and I don't want to get into the weeds too much, but Mass Department of Transportation, there is a board of directors that approves all the projects that are funded. So the funding from the federal government, the lion's share of this came from ARPA money. When the state got ARPA money, communities got ARPA money, and the state got a big block grant as well. States got block grant.
Yep.
So at that time, Charlie Baker, he appropriated or allocated, I believe it was $194 million for this project. But the project has been adopted, including the $73 million that was not expected. So we have been briefed. I have been assured. I've had not private meetings, but I've had separate meetings with the project managers, and funding is in place. I was concerned when the bid came in 73 million above the number that was on the bid document of 207, but we're in good shape.
great.
Good shape. We have been told repeatedly this project is moving forward. And by virtue of this public hearing tonight, laying out the time frame, the construction schedule, the phase-in process, the project is moving forward.
Where's the public hearing?
It's at the Collegiate Charter School on, I don't know what the number
Off
is.
Middlesex Street.
Middlesex
Right-
Street, right
Almost
before you get
across from
into,
Market Basket.
Is the
Yeah,
one right here?
Yeah,
Oh, let me drag it up.
Bolero, what side are we on?
that's
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
This guy right here?
that's correct.
Yeah.
So if you want to know all about this, you can skip Sean McDonough's party and go to this.
You see Jiffy Lube there, John?
Yeah.
You see that big green space right there? They should name that Rodney Elliott Field.
The Walgreens is
I'm
gone.
still there.
saying,
I'm
just
still
saying.
there.
The soccer.
32 years later.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's good.
Walgreens is gone.
Yeah, Walgreens
It
is
is some
gone.
office space for the city of
It's too bad the
Lowell.
city, we couldn't grab that for parking because there's upwards between 40 and 50 games there every weekend, and there's parking stuff, but.
Well, another
it's good.
thing, nobody talked about green space in his
No.
career more than you.
No.
Nobody.
In your mind, where is the bridge going? Where the bridge going to be? The new bridge here? The new bridge here? Where is it going to
So the new bridge will, let's see, can you scroll up to Old Ferry Road? The existing ramp, it's right there. See that Market Basket? That intersection right there? That bridge is going to come straight across the highway. Yep, correct. And it's going to veer to our right, and it's going to connect to the existing ramp.
So it's gonna go crooked like this.
It's going to go diagonal, right,
Okay.
right. It's got, that existing ramp is going to stay there, because people say, what about the old CVS, it's called Apna Bazaar.
Right.
That will remain, and it will not interfere with the school, and it's a
4-lane bridge.
4-lane bridge,
Yeah,
2-lane,
Bikes on both sides.
bikes on both sides,
So bicycles, it's a one lane for
pedestrian on
cars.
both sides.
One lane going each way for cars,
No, there's 2 lanes going each way.
not for cars.
Yeah, two lanes for each.
Yeah. We'll see tonight.
My understanding is
You have to come tonight.
the bike lane, I'm sure LTC will be there.
Yeah, I hope LTC is there, if LTC is listening.
Might be the biggest thing that I've ever seen in my lifetime, because the river is more important now than ever, especially the demographics, the way it's changed. A lot of different people love the river. A lot of people go on that.
He's right on the money.
Yeah.
Crew racing has become quite a sport on the river. There's high school championships. For whatever reason, that length of the river between again, I don't know all the technical terms, but between the flow of the water, the length of the course, it's ideal for crew racing, which is good. Which is good.
And it's always busy up there. I walk up there a lot along the
Yeah,
boulevard
it's a
there.
busy
and
place.
It's a busy place.
It's
Yeah.
good. It's a good resource. We just have to manage it properly, and it is being managed now. The city, for one time, was using Ann Welcome Park when Tommy Bellegarde was here. They had an MOU, but since that time, now DCR has control. They always had control, but there was always a little bit of a mismatch between getting a permit from DCR using the Esplanade and then not having ample parking, because that was being permitted by the city, but it's all being permitted by the state now.
You know, I like
Is that Ann Welcome Park? Is that where the carnival used to be held?
Yeah, that's where the carnival used to, I was there last year.
Yeah, it was last year.
Coincidentally speaking, every Memorial Day there is, it's a high school championship for rowing.
Oh,
Or they also have these rowing organizations. There's a Merrimack River Rowing Association. They're trying to, they'd like to build a boathouse up by the Rourke ramp, the Rourke Brothers ramp, a little bit further north. The city owns a piece of property. I remember working on that as a member of the city council. I actually got some money in the economic development bond bill I'd like to have appropriated to do an assessment, because I think, if you think about it, there's not one restaurant on the river throughout. I don't know. I
So you get
can't
down to
think.
drink it.
I can't think of anything, right?
Get-
Yeah, probably down at the old Jackson's or whatever it was.
There's a Chinese restaurant down there.
Yeah, and I get it, it's floodplain, and there's some challenges, but I think, they have outgrown, the Merrimack River Rowing Association has outgrown their space. The university lets them use some space, and I think it'd be a great resource, whether,
I never realized before this morning the throat that we have right here where the falls are. I didn't the river's nice and wide here,
right,
and it gets wicked narrow at the falls,
right.
all the way over to Pawtuckaville.
Yeah, yes, it does.
Actually,
Ray Willett, God rest his soul, when we were having the flooding issues, he kind of reminded me that right at that intersection of, say, School Street and VFW, that's in the river, that was, they actually blasted that out and took out, I don't know how many hundreds of yards of stone in order to create more capacity, so that neighborhood wouldn't flood. Can't do that these days, but
The river gets so much action, though. The Southeast Asians use that river like I've never seen before.
Yeah.
I went to the African folk festival. Ben Opara was
Ben Opara?
one of the leaders of it. It was incredible how many people were there. I mean, it was really, they used, and I think the population's only about 8% from Africa, but they all showed up.
Yeah, it was
But
good. I mean,
it's
it's a lot of work. Him and Valerie, I was there earlier in the day, but, the key is parking, right? People, you got to be able to park, and having that field, and it's a little dangerous, but people do park on the highway too, but it's a great resource, without a doubt.
few years back, someone was charged in the park in that area. $15 to park.
Really?
Yeah, it was, and I'm not sure, they probably had a permit to do that, but I remember questioning it before.
Yeah, when the DCR does issue that permit, they, I don't think it's restricted, but I think they do allow the Southeast Asian Water Festival, for instance. I think they're allowed to charge to offset the cost that they have for.
Now, have you ever been bothered by, what's his name, our friend here? Ned Tarmey? About carnivals and where he can have one? Has he?
Yeah, of course. In fact, we work with Ned and Fiesta last year, not last year, the year before. I forget, with DCR. And there was a carnival there. The problem is that is the same weekend there is that high school championship rowing regatta. And that particular year, we were scrambling because we had two major events, the carnival and the rowing regatta. And that area cannot handle both of those events at the same time.
No, that's Memorial Day weekend?
That's Memorial Day weekend.
But wasn't
right?
the carnival usually in the fall up at the boulevard? I thought it was like October type time, no? No?
They could have, maybe they had two,
Yeah.
I don't recall, but this one was,
And then there was talk there was going to be one behind us this year, and that fell through. Did you hear something about that? Yeah.
I don't
Fiesta
know.
was-
I just
yeah.
want to, Tom, if you
At
don't
South
mind,
Common. Go ahead, Bobby.
it's just something, I'm having a flashback about housing stuff again. I think the
Okay.
more I put into Rodney's head, the more he might be able to look at the issues and come up with a plan. But I looked at the pools lately, the North Common pool, packed with people. I mean, packed. There was a waiting line to get in. And I look at that housing and I don't see any people with big major mental issues, drug issues, or hanging on a corner drinking beer like down there in the South Common. The North Common, for some reason, I don't think the people that live in the North Common allow it. That's what I think. If you put up a tent in the North Common, I guarantee you that tent will be gone that day. They're watching out for themselves. And then you go over and watch the South Common pool, you got a half a dozen people in it with 4 lifeguards. It seems like such a waste, but the other children, I think, are staying in their homes and not going out to swim because of the way it still is. I drove by there yesterday, there was people laying all over the spot, and most of them are partying.
Sure,
That's what they're
sure.
doing. But what I do believe the South Common could turn into is like, and he has a lot of experience, and I'm just trying to put ideas in his head, soccer, football they call it. And just like everything else, a lot of different people, demographics, Brazilians and the Portuguese always like soccer. Soccer's a big sport. I have seen an increase in the South Common, and I think someone should focus on making that, a prime place to play soccer. I think it would be a good, number one, I think it's a good thing. And number two, they got to watch out who they put in the housings. They have to. I know people that have been put in the housing by friends. This is before your time, Rodney, but because they know someone, they can jump over the list. No one's going to tell me that hasn't happened. It's happened. And they put people in there that sometimes have like criminal things charged against them, and 2 weeks later, they're in the housing. I've seen it because I was a cab driver for years. You see a lot as a cab
Bobby, you
driver.
can also have company.
Yeah, but I'm saying South Common, look he's on the board right now of my sister's Project Compass. That's coming. They're renovating the building right next to Hafner's on Appleton Street. That's where homeless used to shower and all kinds of things. I'm really excited about it because it's only another nail. It's something else to help build a better place in that area. I think Project Compass will do a bang-up job there, to be honest with you. And she's got a great partner in Hafner's next door. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
So
Yeah.
Rodney come roaring in this morning on his motorcycle. Now before today,
to be a secret.
before today, I didn't
No,
know
it's not a
Rodney,
secret.
Rodney had a bike.
I've had a bike for quite a few years. It's a little scary to
What
ride
do you-
around
what do you got-
around here.
What is it for a bike? What kind of bike?
It's a Harley. It's
Harley?
a 2012. It's not a new
Harley
model.
what? Harley what?
Street Rider.
Street Rider, okay.
Yep.
And,
So, it's kind of a sad story. The reason why I rode my bike to here this morning is, it's always a nice time to ride a bike. But my Tahoe, John, you can relate to this, having a Tahoe.
Yep.
When it hit 99,996,000 miles,
Yep.
my transmission failed.
That stinks.
So it's not covered. I looked it up, and apparently there's several years of both Ford Explorers and Tahoes and Silverados that the transmission has a problem with it. So $7,000 later, I'm waiting to get my car back.
That's prohibitively, when you get it
I mean, I'm
back,
putting a new one in. I'm not putting a used one in, but it only has 99. I've had a couple of Tahoes in the past. I've driven them to in
time
excess
to
of
say bye-bye
200,000.
time to say bye-bye to that car.
Well, it's either spend 7,000 or you buy anything new and it's crazy money. So
Oh, it's $100,000 for a new one.
yeah, well, I'm
Crazy
I'm
money.
past that. We're not buying a new
Well,
one.
well,
But anyway, that's why I'm on my bike this morning. The good and the bad news. It's a nice day for a ride, but the
It's gonna
bad
be
news
90,
is
man. It's gonna be 90.
yeah, it's gonna
We
be
warm
nice
one
today.
today,
So
and tomorrow, I think.
it's all good. But I wanted to get back to Bobby's questions, and I was going to write them down, and because if I don't write it down, I forget. But so when it comes to people into the housing, I did want to mention I don't disagree with you. People maybe have been put in there in the past that should not have been, but the state has a new system. It's called CHAMP. Forgive me, I don't know what that acronym is, but it's a database system where you have to apply, and people. And as far as I know, this doesn't happen, but people are not allowed to jump. They have to meet certain criteria. There's, there are points if you're a veteran, if you're homeless, if you're,
Disabled.
disabled.
Yep.
Yep, very good. So,
Yep.
that is in place, and it's a good system. It's the way that the housing managers pull names off, and, it's a statewide system, right? So you can apply anywhere for housing. To me, that's the only drawback. I think if we're running the Lowell Housing Authority, we're going to take care of people that are living in the city. So that's the first thing. But the pools, I don't disagree. Both of my girls are lifeguards. Both of them went through the rigorous training. Both of them work for the city. South Common, as a result of course, the issues that surround it. Parents aren't going to send their kids to those pools. Of course, I used to work for DCR. North Common is a state-run and owned pool. It's run very well. On the other hand, we do require details. Lowell, Lawrence, Chelsea, the various DCR pools. We do have a detail there because there tends to be problems. So it's better to have an environmental police officer, or if we can't get one, we go to UMass Lowell, we go to Lowell Police Department. Sometimes we can't fill the details. And the pools are open anyway. But the second challenge is getting lifeguards. Sometimes you'll see pools around the city that are not open, that are city pools, and that's the only state pool in the city, by the way. The rest are around McPherson, South Common. A lot of the pools have been converted to splash pads, which is not the worst thing because you don't need a lifeguard. But South Common, when my daughter was a lifeguard at South Common, the place was not desirable for kids to go and play because there are homeless people there.
Right.
There are people with substance abuse problems there, and it becomes, they go into the bathrooms and they do things they shouldn't be doing, and it's, lifeguards don't want to work there either. They got trained to save lives,
Yeah.
not to, to police other issues. So, I'd be shocked. I don't know. I'm not involved with the pool management, but I'd be shocked if they don't have a police officer or a detail there. But North Common, well run. There are, at one time when I worked for DCR, we had a swim program. For kids, it was free, working in concert with the police department. So a lot of good things happening, but it's pools are a challenge.
What's the average wait time in Lowell for housing? 5 years?
I couldn't even tell you.
Drake,
Lifetime.
I know Drake.
It is a lifetime.
It's a lifetime wait.
And I
Drake
kind of want to go
5
back
years.
to, sort of the evictions. Not that we're looking to evict people, but there's a fair amount of people that just won't pay their rent.
Yeah.
So where do they go?
And their rent, what's that?
You kick them out, where do they go?
to the
I don't
streets.
know, but there's, state law, federal law says you have to pay rent. Some folks have to pay only $50 and they won't pay their rent.
Yeah,
And it's a
Drake,
sliding scale, it's based
Drake,
upon.
we
how-
might have 2 or 3 a year evictions at that on the housing.
And it's, nobody wants to kick them out, just pay your rent, pay your, your laundry fee to use the laundry, and they don't, and it's frustrating. Believe me, I say we, Housing Court is empathetic, we are empathetic, we don't want to, first of all, it costs us, it costs the Housing Authority, I want to say $163 every time we have to file. So it's using Housing Authority money to pay court fees, and we don't want to do it, but, what happens to the rest of the people that pay their rent, right? I'm not going to pay mine because they're not paying theirs, so.
Why does the city pick up your trash for free?
The city does not pick up the trash for free. It is paid for,
Oh, yeah?
yes. I'll get you the report if you'd like.
I'd like it.
We pay for the police officers, we pay for the trash, the Housing Authority pays for the trash. Excuse me.
Because I see all the recycle barrels and
Yep.
the little trash barrels and overflowing, and I'm told they don't pay.
Oh.
You got this.
That's
So I'd
not
lo-
true.
love to
It's
see
a
the report.
misnomer.
Thank
That's
you.
why there are city trash barrels. And quite frankly, let's remember, they're low residents, right? They're living in housing run by the Housing Authority, but they're low residents. They vote, they vote, they
But
live
let's also
here.
remember, if you have over 5 units, the city won't touch your property.
You've got to get a dumpster, correct?
And
Right.
unless you're
I think-
low housing, we're exempt.
Well, I think we want to keep the city clean, and I think we want to have the trash picked up, and the Housing Authority pays, and it's a good system.
I understand it's working. It's
You
just-
guys have
and I'm
dumpsters,
just
Rodney,
saying
or
it's
trash
unfair.
barrels? Do you
It's
know?
unfair.
There are some locations there are dumpsters,
Because
yes.
Drake does the same thing. Because I see the invoice every month that we pay the town of Drake, we pay for our trash, not through the city, and with the same company we have that picks
Right.
up the local trash.
Right.
Yeah.
To get through the
But we have,
Housing
some of them have dumpsters. I think most of them have dumpsters, I think, in Drake. Yeah.
Another big issue for me anyways is the DOT, and you can correct me, right? I think you were called the fiscal watchdog when you were a city council.
Was I?
But, well,
Call me that.
I don't know, but I've heard that mentioned many times. So at the state level, though, I'm pretty sure the Department of Transportation brings in the second most amount of money, other than the taxes that people pay. They make a lot of money over just in the registry alone. I'm looking at younger kids right now. It's unbelievable what they go through. They can have a car that's 14 years old, and they're getting taxed, like I did, over $700 on a vehicle that's that old. Sales tax. I just can't believe that. Then when you're young, trying to get, let's say, your granddaughter or your grandson a license, you say to them, when you get a car, your insurance is going to be about $250 a month, easily. And I said, you're going to be paying through the nose on everything. How are you going to do it if you're not working? Because it's impossible to keep up with that in insurance rates and what they charge for old cars. I think someone should go and investigate a little bit about sales tax. Because you look at New Hampshire, right? Now they're going to have no inspections up there. None.
Yeah.
On a vehicle.
Yeah.
I can't believe that, but I don't think we should do that.
No, I don't think we should do that
Yeah,
either. I
I
really
don't.
don't understand.
But I
about-
think they should look into how much it's
I was
costing
telling
young
a story, I
people to
think, to you guys
drive.
before about I sold a car, one of my personal cars, to a friend of mine that lives in New Hampshire. And he left my house. He said, I'll be back as soon as I get my new plates. He was back to my house in a half hour. You go to the registry in Lowell, you've been there for an hour just waiting to
Yeah,
get
it's
waited
gotten
on.
a lot better
Where
than
they
I
register
remember,
cars? In the
yeah.
town halls up there in New Hampshire, I was trying to, you don't have any registered cars up there, do you? You have, no.
No.
You're the town clerk's office.
Is that what it is? Town clerk, sorry? Yeah.
Most
Yeah.
towns, town
Yeah.
clerk, yeah.
He
Like
was in and out,
Manchester.
in and out.
Manchester's a little different, like the big Manchester, Concord.
Yeah, he was in Pelham. He went to Pelham, yeah.
It's just the young people.
Pelham Town
paying
Hall,
for the
town
nose.
clerk's office.
Bobby, you had a third question in your question. I can't remember what it
No,
was,
it was
though.
just what it's costing young people to be able to put a car on the road. To me, it's almost ridiculous
With the
in this
house.
state. Yeah, it's just costs you a lot of
So
money.
insurance rates are set by the commissioner. I'm not sure that's the best system, without a doubt. It's based upon I think you make a good point. If you register a vehicle in Lowell, for instance, or if you go right over the New Hampshire line, or maybe even Tingsboro, quite frankly, your rates are dramatically different. And it's a result of a combination of factors. As far as I know, I'm not an expert
Theft
here.
of cars, all kinds of
Theft
things.
of cars,
yeah.
breaking and entering, vehicle crime-related issues, which is unfortunate, because it is very expensive, and kids. Although these days, most of the kids, they don't, at least in the city, they don't buy cars. They Uber. Uber is the thing.
And those scooters.
And scooters, yeah, scooters.
People on motorcycles.
Hey, I'm just gonna grab some airtime for a
Registered,
second.
registered.
Gonna talk about Sean McDonough's parties tonight. Running for city council tonight, 5 o'clock down at the Wappin Weft. And just pop in there, shake his hand, good kid. He's 29 years old. He's running for District 4. And so I'm happy we got somebody running for district. We got some competition in District 4. So that's tonight at the Wappin Weft, Sean McDonough's City Council District 4 party, and hope to see you down there. Back to you guys.
When you keep saying that all the time about young people, get young people. Well, look at your prison system, right? They're going down to 19 years old because they can't get help. You think that's
Wow.
a good idea? I'm going to tell you something. It's not a good idea. 19-year-olds will get eaten up inside our prison system. You should stay it right at 21. Gives them a couple of more years to mature, learn about life. But that job there going down to 19 is going to cause major issues. Major issues.
Yeah.
So it's not always about the youth. It's about hiring the best help. Sometimes us older guys can get
But you
things
just
done
said
too,
they
you
can't get the
know.
help. Is that
No,
the
but
low
I don't like
age?
that to hear that all the time. We need 19 and 20-year-olds to run. Listen, we need anybody to run. That's what you need. You need competition. And I never voted, I was against redistricting. Let me give you that point. I was against it. Now I'm kind of liking it. Just takes time to get used to something different. I think it's a good idea.
I think it's some people would not, we've talked about this before, would not get elected citywide, and they've got elected in the district.
It's not easy. It's not even easy to go out and get 150 votes signatures
Signatures,
anymore. It's kind of difficult to find
People don't
out.
want to sign. They don't
Right,
put their name on
right.
it. I get it.
Yeah, it's just,
Yeah, I don't
So-
disagree. I think 19 is young to put some, a young person in.
Certain
in the
jobs,
system.
yeah.
And of course, I don't know what the job entails. You do, but
well, police
you got to
too.
pay them, right? If
Yeah.
you want people to do these jobs, you got to pay them, and maybe they're not paying enough, so you have to go to the younger folks who don't have that standard of living that they need to afford. They don't have to raise a family and et cetera. But I don't know. I don't know where it's all going.
It's very, you know it anyways. The most important thing in the city is definitely police. What kind of police do we have?
Right.
Over the years, we've had great hires, I'll just put it that way.
And schools,
Schools are,
it's a school community,
oh,
right?
without a
Schools.
doubt, without a doubt. That's probably not that more important than the schools. And you have great teachers, you really do. I mean, it's easy to say, look at Lowell, look at it, look at how low your test scores are. Well, there's a lot to that.
There's a lot to that.
There is
You
a
know, when
lot
I
to
was the
that.
mayor, you're absolutely right, boy, did I learned a lot about, I'll say challenges, right? It's a
Yeah.
good word. Challenges between English as a second language or English language learners and, so many other issues that I think we do remarkably well, quite frankly.
Yeah, I look at Lowell High School as, that's the major school. But as far as the students go, you got 3,200, let's say 2,200, they're going to be fine. The top 1,000, believe me, there'll be at MIT, Harvard, Yale, all these, the Eisenberg School of Business. It's happened in my family a couple of times. People get to those type of schools and right off the bat, they're making six figures. It happens to a lot of kids out of Lowell High School, but the bottom 1,000 where I was back in the day, they're not going anywhere. Like I had the opportunity for the Army. Why did we stop taking people for the Army? Just the Army, infantry, a grunt. You're just a bushman. Gave me a house, gave me a high school diploma, helped me in life, gave me a little discipline. 1,000 of our children in Lowell High School have been failed. And it's not their fault. We keep sending them, like me, can't read at the third grade level. we're going to put you in the 4th and move you on up. And guess what? By the time they get to high school, if they're not lucky like me, I was very lucky. Mrs. Keeley put me against the wall. Robert, you should join the Army. I'll always remember her with love. She just was right. I was a delinquent. I was a troublemaker. My mother was 16 when she had me. Nobody taught me how to read. You kidding me? That's what you got at Lowell High School. That's what you got. That's more important than any part of that high school. I don't care about the high school, the structure, and where it's built. I could care less. I know what I voted for. Maybe I made a mistake. Downtown, I was a downtowner. I'm going to sit here and say it right away. And I'm going to say things like this during this campaign. I had 2 friends. I got to say this. I knocked over 200 doors, and I never knocked doors in my life. And this is my 8th election. And I went to 2 of my best friends, said, I need your signatures. My best friends. And they said to me, I can't support you this time. Really? What did I do wrong? You're a Trumper. You're a Trumper. I mean it. Think of how bad that is, right? Just, you're running for the school committee, something at the lowest level, and just because I voted for Trump, you can tell on my Facebook who I voted for. You're not going to give me 2 signatures to put my name on the ballot? Couldn't believe that. That's the biggest shock I got so far.
I've had people lose friendships over this.
Oh, it's
I know a girl,
unbelievable.
when she supported Trump in the first election, she lost a 30-year friendship because of her
It's
support for Trump.
unbelievable.
You know?
It really is. It's that bad. So, and I think John was right a few times. We shouldn't, we won, it's over, forget about it.
Yeah.
But when you get hit with something like that, it's,
Ticks off half the audience.
Yeah.
no, I know it does.
It ticks off
Yeah.
half the
No,
audience.
I understand. that.
Rodney, go ahead.
The people who run the schools, they call DESE. Is that a state-funded organization?
Correct.
Do you have any conversations with them? Because I'd like to know why a child who can't read gets promoted. And I'm told by school authorities, both elected and administrative, that DESE says they have to promote the kid if he doesn't read. Why is that?
I don't know if that's true. I'm going to find it hard to believe that if it is
Well,
true.
you know, in Massachusetts, we like to point to whenever anything goes wrong, the Republicans did it or the Democrats did it.
Yeah.
They love to point at somebody else's job.
Oh, exactly what you're talking about, John. You like to point at DESE. I agree with you. DESE causes us problems. You like to point at teachers. They're not doing their job. We point at paraprofessionals. You're not doing your job.
Well, I don't hear anything good
Let
about
me finish.
DESE.
Have we ever pointed at parents and say maybe part of the problem is the parents?
Bobby, where's parent school?
John, there's no parent school.
There's
There's no parent
Bobby,
school.
I'm sending my kid to go to school, okay? When
Yeah.
the plumber comes to my house to fix the plumbing,
Yeah.
I don't help the guy. Somebody comes to fix my refrigerator, I don't help the girl. Somebody comes to fix my washer dryer, somebody comes from Comcast or the phone company, I don't help them, but open the door, that's all I do. What makes you think I should help my kid learn? I got my phone here, I got things to do on my phone, I can't be bothered with my kid. That's the society we live in, Bob.
But John, back in our days, right, we did wrong. What happened? We got hit. We got the ruler. That's what happened to us at our age group, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays, you can't put a hand on a child. There's no doubt. But I'll tell you, I've watched bullies in school, 3rd grade level, bullying kids. Bring the parent in, the parent's worse than the kid. There's got to be something that we do. If your kid's caught, if they're caught and they're bullying other kids, there got to be something we can do.
My main thrust to talk to Rodney this morning, he's kind enough to come in here once a month, that's, DESE, is it DESE? And if it's not DESE, I'll go right back to the superintendent of schools. If you can't read, you shouldn't be able to leave that grade. Sorry. That's the way I feel about things.
Well, that's why we have,
Paying $17,000 to educate a kid who can't read.
but that's why the school committee is in charge. You're in charge, and that's part of policy. You can always write something up or try to pass a motion to focus just on that issue.
I had a teacher directly tell me, because my grandson was at the Immaculate, and he stayed back. And he eventually ended up in
With his mother's approval.
Yeah. But I've had a teacher directly tell me in the Lowell school system, they don't keep them back. They don't, because she said she thought it was fantastic that my grandson was kept back because he had some issues, but, learning issues, but he's doing great now.
I stayed back in second grade. I loved it.
Yeah.
The second year, I knew everything.
Yeah.
I was the smartest kid in class. I loved it. The best thing that ever
I
happened
would
was staying
say-
back in second grade.
I would say one time is good, but if you some people keep their kid back just for sports, let's say. And if you do that twice, sometimes they'll keep them back twice. Then when the kid gets in the high school, they're wondering why, he's 19 years old and he should be 16
Rodney,
years old.
earlier last week I had to drive down to Virginia. And no state cops in Mass, no state cops in Connecticut. It was a great ride. Had a nice drive down there.
Uh-oh.
In Maryland,
Here it comes.
they're experimenting with electronic ticketing. And
Electronic what?
Electronic ticketing.
Oh.
And I'm coming. I use an app called Waze, and Waze says speed camera ahead, and I see all the brake lights on the cars in front of me come on, and it tells you where the speed camera is. And I saw one of the Maryland State Police cruisers has all the cameras on the nose of his car, I couldn't say it was a girl or a guy driving the car, on the trooper's car. Is there any mindset in Massachusetts to do anything such like that, electronic ticketing? Any mindset down at State House to talk about this?
Not that I haven't heard any discussion about it. I haven't seen any legislation about it. I mean, that's more of an executive function. I don't know, maybe it makes some sense, right? I mean, Maryland's doing it. I don't know. I don't have the answer to that question.
Well, you
but-
go to Boston most days a week, and I'm
Yes.
going to guess you're doing 75, 80 going down to Boston just to keep up with the traffic.
Well, with all due respect, if you've been to Boston in the last 2 or 3 years, nobody's going 70 miles an hour. Almost at any given time of the day, there is so much traffic. It's just, it's unbelievable. I've never seen it.
93?
I've been going in and out of Boston for 43 years. I've never seen traffic like this before. And I'm not trying to be dramatic about it. It's just, it doesn't matter what time you go. I've gone in, even these days, I've been at the deck at 6 o'clock, meaning I leave my house at 5, and I'm sitting in traffic, getting
Wow.
on the on-ramp. Two things, I think, people, there's a lot more folks that are not taking mass transit. They're just not. It's unpredictable, it's unreliable, and quite frankly, it is expensive. If I wanted to take, I used to buy the monthly pass, right? But if I take a daily trip into Boston, it's $11 one way, or $10.50 in, $10.50 out, then I got to pay to park. That's $30 just to go in and out. I mean, I am gracious enough to have a parking space, but if I didn't, it's just, it's so expensive to take. It's getting better, it's getting more reliable, particularly the subway system and the bus system, that's where the majority of people.
Well, Tommy, you're still on the bus board.
Yeah.
How's the free buses working? Lowell has free buses until September.
September.
Right.
How's the
Maybe you could go
population
on-
on the
it's going
buses?
great. Ridership's up because obviously it's free. But the only problem we're having with it is people getting on, like say, at the original stop and then driving all the way back to the end stop, and then they don't want to get off the bus. Things that, like homeless people, for example. And we have to tell them you can't do it. You can. They're allowing it once. The second time you're off. They don't.
Right.
And that's the only issue, but it's working out fantastic. Yeah.
So back to the state police, I am not aware of anything. I've not seen any communications. Maybe it's in the works, maybe it is not, but I don't know. I know that the state police are reorganizing and the governor's
Well, I'm
appointed
told by
someone
a
new, but
trooper that I know that it's going to take the legislature to change the law.
perhaps that's probably the true.
And while I have your ear, if it does come on the table, electronic ticketing does not tag your insurance. And just say, look, you got to get 3 electronic tickets. The 4th one, we tag your insurance. The
Right.
first 3, we're not going to tag
Look,
your
I'm
insurance.
for anything that'll slow people down. I mean, there's 25 miles an hour in the city. That doesn't seem to slow people down. I think it's a good enforcement element. I should say it doesn't slow people down, but for instance, I go out Varnum Ave out of the city, and I get 2 or 3 people like right on my tail if I'm going 25, and I go 25, and they can get upset and they beep and blah blah blah. But people just, they don't realize how fast, maybe I'm just getting older and the
Took a little while,
younger
but
generation.
I get used to the 25. I get used
No,
to it.
all you gotta do is drive for a living, understand that this state's probably number one, the worst state in the country.
Rodney, how's your relationship
crazy.
with the governor? You have a good relationship with him?
Yeah, I get along with the
Yeah?
governor. Yeah.
Is she in trouble
Lieutenant
next year, do you
governor.
think, election-wise?
I don't think so.
No. I mean, you hear talk that, was it 2 Republican candidates? I don't think she'll have any Democratic opposition, but,
I don't think she has any Democratic opposition, and working through some of the issues that are a challenge. The homeless, that started under the Baker administration. He kind of let folks know we got some problems here.
5 minutes, yeah, okay.
And we're working through that. The emergency assistance was shut down. She's consolidating the hotels. We're limiting the number of folks here. So it's not been an easy. It's not been.
And how long
easy
is
at all
downtown going to be
whatsoever.
there? Is that
A year and a half.
Another year and a half?
And again, that's not the city. That's not the state. It's the university. It's the
Right,
University of Mass
right.
Building Authority.
Right.
And they needed, they having it vacant. They weren't going to move students back in there, and it does need some improvement. So. To answer your question, I mean, I don't know, I'm not a political guru, but she doesn't have a primary opponent as far as I know, but it's still early.
Yeah, yeah.
What do we got coming up in Lowell, the folk festival?
Yep, couple of weeks. Yeah. A week from this weekend, yeah.
26th, right?
Yeah.
Folk Festival is
That'll be a good one this year. I hope we don't have any rain.
rain,
Or extremely hot. Last year.
they
it was
plan all
extremely hot.
year, and it's such a good showcase for the city, and so many people come in. So many people love it, let me tell you.
Yeah, that's fun.
You go into Boston, and people from all over come
Oh, yeah.
in, and it's a good
Yeah.
thing for the city.
Bobby, anything else you want to wrap up with?
But
No,
if we wanted to just talk about, the
Okay.
the MCAS are going away, John. I know that's something that you asked me about. If you recall, there was a ballot question, and, depending upon what you think about it, but should teachers be teaching to the test? If you ask teachers, and I agree with Bobby, spend some time in the classroom, go and visit and see what the teachers go through on a daily basis. It's, they work hard and they do it for the passion of the job, and I think teachers across the state, and especially in Lowell, they do amazing work. It's a long day in there. Sometimes, and it's not easy. It's not easy at all whatsoever. But MCAS will be replaced at some point. I know that DESE, your favorite department, is working, and they'll be promulgating. I don't know what that is going to be. Sometimes these ballot questions, they get get rid of the MCAS. Okay, well, what are we going to put in place thereof? You still have to measure performance, right, at some level, in my opinion, of what that is. I don't know, they're working on it. Similarly to the vocational educational admission system, they're working through the process. The governor and the budget included a provision that it'd be driven by lottery. And there are some folks that think that's a good idea and some that are not a good idea. So maybe we can talk about that the next time. I know we got 2 minutes left.
Speaking of ballot questions, anything new on the audit? Is that DeZoglio's, is it how you say her last name? The audit, the legislature? Is
Never
that
mind what
dead?
the people want, the hell with the people.
No, I'm trying to put them on the spot.
People doesn't.
Well, you
just
put it,
have to-
I don't mind being put on the spot. I mean, look, I am for transparency. And I believe we've given the auditor the ability to hire her own independent audit firm. Look, it's leadership. She's working with leadership. I'm just, I'm a new guy down there. And
So they are working
trying to
together. All right.
working through it. But I want to be in compliance with what the people asked for. They voted for it. They want to see it. And I think it makes sense, and the leader and the Speaker of the House and the Senate President. Oh my gosh, there's so many committees down there. I can't forget if I believe there's a committee set up, to work through this. So.
Well, I went down there, they honored Cliff Krieger, Veteran of the Year, I was super impressed with how well organized and how pristinely clean the State House is. I was I've been there probably 20 years ago, it was a pigsty. The place looks freaking proud of, people willing to help you, very helpful people work at the State House. I was really, really turned over on
Well, it's your house. It's the people's house, and you got to be proud of it, right? I mean, people from all around the world come.
Well, yesterday, I'll tell you, it was felt. Anyway, tomorrow City Life, we got Linda Bound's going to be here. Former chief of the election office at Lowell, Greg Pappas, is going to be here. Our favorite firefighter, Mike Dillon's going to be here. Tommy, time is short.
Yep,
here.
thanks for coming in, Rodney. I hope we see you soon.
100%.
Enjoy the rest of your summer.
Yes,
Robbie, I'll
thank
see
you.
you next
Yeah,
week.
no problem.
See you next week.
We'll see
Have
you
a good day,
tomorrow.
everybody.
Thanks.